So today I'm going to show you how to cook in a crock pot. You'll see this right here is the work in progress. We're gonna mix some cheese into the food today, and you're gonna see it's a lot more complicated than it looks. So pay special close attention. I'm going to pour the cheese into the crock pot. Now make sure, this is where it gets a little tricky. Sometimes the cheese likes to bunch up in the corners, so you have to make sure it gets out of the corners as you're pouring that cheese in. Now you're going to notice we're going to stir it just so, because if you get a little crazy with the stirring, it's going to go over the edge of the crock pot. You see how close that came to going over the edge? That's not what we want to happen. We want to mix this in without spilling it all over the kitchen. That's the goal. See? See that? Oh yeah. That's good stuff right there. Now, once we get it thoroughly mixed in to where the cheese is underneath the liquid there, and kind of off the spoon, we're going to put that, on the bag. It's a good place for it to keep it from getting onto the actual countertop. And we're going to take the top of this thing right here and put it onto the crock pot. At this point, we're going to turn it off and let it simmer. It needs to simmer for a little bit. And once that simmers and gets done, it's going to be a very good meal of the chicken and cheese and stuff. That was another episode of Cooking with Robert. See you next time.
I have a question for Cooking with Robert. What were you cooking? I caught the cheese, and I know you don't want it to go over the lid, and you turn the crock pot off after you cover it with the lid. But what are you making? And was it good?
Welcome back to Cooking with Robert. Got a few comments on the video, some questions from inquiring minds, so to speak, about what exactly was I cooking. And I'm here to tell you that is a very good question. What I have here is it's like chunks of chicken with some rice, and some cheese, and I think if we do a little investigating, looks like some Zatarain's rice is what she cooked it with, and well, I really don't know what else. But to answer the question, I don't really know. The amount of my cooking was what you saw in the last video. So, that answers your question, Mom.
Okay, so Cooking with Robert is trademarked by this Robert, who is actually the real cook. You are what we call an imitator. I'm the real Rob James. I will stand up and I will show you how the food is supposed to be cooked. Now, if you keep infringing on my name because everybody wants to be like Rob, just because you're my friend doesn't mean I'm not going to sue. And I don't want to f you up. I mean, I really will f you up. Like enemy f up. I'm coming.
Hello, Robert. Cooking with Robert. Thank you for your quick response on that. But there are a few follow-up questions, such as, gosh, now we know how to put cheese into a pot and stir it. The other question is, why is the program called Cooking with Robert when someone else did all the cooking, except for stirring the cheese? Thank you.
Welcome back to Cooking with Robert. Having to change the name of the show. I got a pretty irate video from a viewer who happens to be named Robert. His name is Robert Paul James, and he took offense to the fact that I was using Cooking with Robert. He said it was already trademarked. Apparently he can cook. Who would have thought that with his name like Robert Paul James? Anyway, so I'm changing the name to Cooking with Someone Better Than Robert. That's the new name. Cooking with Someone Better Than Robert. Yeah, I like it. And then I got another person saying, you know, well, I didn't actually cook the full meal here, so how can I call it Cooking with Robert? So I guess I got to enhance that a little bit and say that was my mom. She didn't think it was fair that I was saying Cooking with Robert when I didn't actually cook the full thing. I just put the cheese in and mixed it up. So I'm going to say Cooking with Someone Better Than Robert. No, scratch that. Cooking with Kelly and Someone Better Than Robert is the new name. Trademark that. There you go. Well, thanks for watching this episode of Cooking with Someone. Thanks for watching this episode of Cooking with Kelly and Someone Better Than Robert. We'll see you next time.